Coming up on Mountain News First at 4, Magoffin County family loses their home, cars, and Christmas presents for their kids in a fire. And Election Day in Georgia is tomorrow in a U.S. Senate runoff with major implications for the country.
Plus, showers have seemingly been an ever-present part of December so far, and we've got some more on the way. The breakdown and the latest coming up as Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Several Eastern Kentucky families experienced a big loss during the weekend. A fire destroyed a home and several cars in Magoffin County, but no one was hurt, but multiple people lost a lot. The local rescue squad and others are trying to help out. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more.
Family members tell me that the fire broke out Saturday, destroying a trailer that was also a home and also several cars, and inside those cars were Christmas presents for children. Magoffin County first responders say they are trying to help families with a total of 9 children, including infants. They're wanting to collect toys and clothes for the kids who lost so much, with Christmas just a few weeks away. The people living inside the trailer say everyone, including animals, were able to get out safely, but the fire quickly spread to destroy the trailer, a car, and an SUV. They say first responders have done a lot to help them through the loss.
Sizewell Rescue Squad really helped us out that night. They bought the kids pizza, McDonald's. They did a good job that night.
As a community, you know, coming together to help them out really soothes the mind, you know, that we can come together and help them.
Rescue Squad members say they will be collecting donations for about a week. They'll be collecting there at the Rescue Squad building as well as several other locations throughout town. In Magoffin County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Donations of toys and clothes can be dropped off at the Magoffin Rescue Squad building on South Church Street in Salyersville. Flu numbers are spiking as temperatures drop across the region. The Pike County Health Department released updated statistics showing they have the 6th highest rate of lab-confirmed flu cases in the state. This comes as others are battling RSV and COVID-19. Pike County Public Health Director Tammy Riley says defending against these illnesses starts with personal hygiene.
We try to get the messaging out there that all 3 of these, you know, wash your hands, cover coughs and sneezes, stay home if you're sick. And then 2 out of 3 of them have clearly identified vaccines that work.
Riley says the vaccines normally take 2 weeks to complete immunity buildup, so it's important to get a shot now to have full protection before Christmas. We'll have more on the increase in flu cases tonight at 6.
Overcast day throughout the region, and it's not hard to see why people are staying inside because it looks like rain, and plenty of it. It's not raining yet, but many of us will see some downpours, at least potentially some downpours as we head later on into tonight. Here's the view from downtown Whitesburg, where traffic is moving nicely, but it is overcast out there. Same thing from our camera here in Perry County at Buffalo Mountain. It's 50 in Perry County right now. Most of us right around where we should be this time of year, upper 40s to near 50. Some cooler spots, though. Jacksboro's at 43, Prestonsburg at 42, one of the cooler spots. Some of this could be reaching the ground. I'm not completely convinced that it all is, but some sprinkles possible as we head home this afternoon all throughout the region. You see some of those lighter returns moving in and backing on out. The bulk of the activity remains to our south, but that's along a stationary boundary that's going to mean more showers for us as we head later on into the work week. So for tonight, those showers continue to move in and build in. Calm winds, but lows only in the middle 40s. Details on when we return to some potentially soggy weather in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. The candidates in Georgia's runoff Senate race are making their closing arguments today. For those who did not vote early, tomorrow is Election Day in the contest between Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker. Georgia voters face a decision that will have far-reaching implications for the country. CBS's Skylar Henry reports from Atlanta.
Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock began his final day of campaigning with members of the Teamsters Union in Atlanta.
And I promise you guys, if you stand up with me just one more day, I'll stand up for you for the next 6 years.
Later, he held a rally at Georgia Tech. urging students to get out to vote.
It was really exciting, lots of momentum and energy. Yes, very motivating.
Republican challenger Herschel Walker continued his Evict Warnock bus tour Monday, stopping at a restaurant in Flowery Branch, Georgia, and a pool hall in Dawsonville.
Now we're working on turnout.
Walker needs big turnout to win.
The way the government's going right now in the wrong direction, we need somebody that's got our back.
Though Democrats will control the next Senate, a Warnock win would give the party more leverage in deciding the makeup of key committees, an easier path to confirming judges, and more wiggle room in close votes. Georgia election officials say more than a quarter of active voters in the state have already cast ballots in early voting. But there are concerns about turnout because of heavy rain in the forecast. Georgia's senior senator, Democrat John Ossoff, says Georgians are used to obstacles.
Even last week, when made to wait in line for 2 or 3 hours to vote, I have seen how determined Georgians are to exercise their constitutional rights.
He believes they'll show up on Tuesday. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Atlanta.
In a survey, 3,200 Georgia voters following the general election, the Associated Press found Warnock won 90% of black voters. Walker won 68% of white voters. Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff is convening an anti-Semitism summit at the White House Wednesday. Planning has been underway for weeks, but the event comes amid a series of anti-Semitic comments from rapper Kanye West and news that former President Trump recently hosted West along with Holocaust denier Nick Fuentes at a Mar-a-Lago dinner. Emhoff, the first Jewish person in his position, said last week that every day things get worse and that Jews of his generation thought this type of anti-Semitism was behind them. Wednesday's roundtable will include leaders of 13 different groups, including the Anti-Defamation League and Jewish on Campus. Nike is ending its 8-year commercial relationship with basketball star Kyrie Irving after the Brooklyn Nets point guard was recently embroiled in controversy after posting a link to an anti-Semitic film on social media. The move comes 1 month after the athletic apparel giant suspended its relationship with Irving about a tweet he shared in October. Irving's shoe deal with Nike was one of the NBA's most lucrative deals, generating about $11 million in earnings every year for the 7-time All-Star. Irving signed his first shoe deal with Nike in 2014 and was scheduled to release a new model last month. Coming up on First at 4, the red-hot real estate market is cooling down. We dive into why home sales are sinking.
And yet more wet weather is on the way as we head through this work week. The full details on the way.